All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you guys are doing well today. Whew. All right, we're here. Give me a second. I'm getting everything pulled up. I got All right. So I'm slightly down in equities today. Mostly flat. I don't see anything that's really down. Where's my Nike trade at? I'm still in Intel, man, and it hasn't bounced back yet. I think I just gotta let that one sit though. I'm in Nike. I'm basically flat in Nike. I bought that one a couple days ago as well. What's up, James? Yeah, I know you can't hear anything. It's all right. Here, hold on. All right, I'm getting the music up. Hold on. All right, we got Uber earnings dropping pretty soon. Shopify earnings dropping soon. My arm feels better today. Yeah, it feels better. Good, man. Honestly, my arm was all messed up. All right, so the current administration is announcing a $3.3 billion investment by Microsoft for an AI data center in Wisconsin. The U.S. Commerce Department is also said to be mulling the use of computing power threshold from AI executive order as a trigger for restrictions and mulling a move to restrict sales of proprietary AI software to overseas nations, according to Reuters. Tiva, again, earnings today include, specifically, we got Uber, Shopify, Affirm this morning. Affirm, we don't know when it's coming out. Shopify is expecting a 17-cent profit per share on 1.84 billion in revenue. Uber is expecting 21 cents per share on 10.07 billion in revenue. And then this evening we've got Arm, Robinhood, Airbnb, and AMC earnings. So we'll cover all that as well when it drops. Waiting for those numbers to come out. We don't know when they're going to come out. All right, again, we're looking at markets mostly flat. If we look at the AMD chart today, is mostly flat. Meta pulled back, but Meta continues to bounce, man. You love to see it. If we look at like the SPY itself here, you can see it pretty flat, straight down the middle at 517s. Tesla down slightly at 170s. Tesla's been dropping the last few days for sure, and so you don't love to see it, but it is a slow week right now. We just don't have much going on this week. Like, the biggest things we've got going on this week are AMC earnings today, and then AMC earnings today, followed by jobless claims tomorrow. Those are the biggest things we got going on this week. Aside from that, it's pretty slow. All right. What else we got? My arm feels better today, though, dude. Good. What's up, Kimberly? What's your opinion about Disney now after the crash? I mean, I never really said to buy Disney. I don't think you might have been listening to what I actually said. What I said was that every time Disney, and again, this is verbatim what I said, right? So it's not really arguable. What I said was that Disney, every single time it drops down to $75, $80, $90 a share, I buy the dip and ride it back up to, like, usually I end up exiting it at 110. I'm not even in Disney anymore. I got out of it at about 110 like a month or two ago, like a while ago, you know? And so I'm not even in Disney right now. I don't know what it's going to do short term. But yeah, I mean, I've made a lot of money on Disney over the last few, years, really. And to be honest, you just sound hella emotional, Jay, So, I mean, listen, let it out, bro. It's all right. Yelling at me on the internet probably won't make you feel better, but that's all right, Get it out if you got to get it out, man. It's okay. We'll see what happens to Disney. Disney's still over 105, still green on the year. But again, I'm not in it right now. I haven't been in it in months. Amgen is the vibe for May. Yeah, we'll see about Amgen. Is AMC a good buy? I don't know. I'm not going to tell anybody to buy AMC. That's for sure. NVIDIA is still at over 900s here as well. People get so emotional about stocks. Like, I'm not sure why, you know. You shouldn't love or hate a stock. It should just be a stock, you know. That's really the problem with AMC traders, is because they start to morally invest trying to help or hurt companies, and it just doesn't end up working out that way. You just got to go with money. Hey brother, what was the website that showed you yesterday with the payouts on Apex? Do you want the Apex affiliate link? So like, are you gonna buy an Apex account, or do you want to look at the payouts that are currently being processed by Apex? I can give you either one of those. I'm just asking which one you specifically want. So all good. Yeah, I mean, and again, if y'all can learn anything from this guy, Jay, whatever his name is, like, just don't be so emotional. Like, if you're out here calling people names who disagree with you, you've just got to be incredibly emotional, right? That's not really something profitable traders do. That might be why they're big mad in YouTube stream chats, like, upset, you know, because they're losing money. But being that emotional is almost never good. Like, again, when you invest in anything, and again, it should go to the other side as well. You shouldn't really love or support a company in that way either, right? But like, we're not here to support companies and stock markets. We're here to make money, you know? And I think that's the mindset you have to have. You can't love a company so much that you'll never leave it, and you can't hate a company so much where you're just super emotional about it to where you don't see the, you know, like, again, I very rarely hold anything for years. The trades where people were the most emotional, like, I got made fun of a lot for buying Target at $100 a share. And again, Target bounced from basically $100 all the way up to $180 over the following 3 months. You know, so from mid to end of November, Target was at $100. It bounced all the way up to $180 by March of the following year. So within like 3 to 6 months, this thing was up almost 100%, like 80%. And again, this was a trade same way where people just, you know, they just get so emotional about it, right? And I don't care about any of that stuff. I don't care about any of it. I just want to make money, and that's what I'm here for, and that's what you should be here for as well. And I think if you're trying to make money in the stock market, this is how you have to think. You can't support your political stocks, or you can't hate stocks like that. Like, you just got to try to be as objective as you can. We're going to wait for Uber earnings to come out. Uber's supposed to drop this morning. I'm not sure when. You know, the question is, do robo-taxis affect Uber in any significant way? I think is the big question. We also have Shopify. I'm not a big fan of Shopify personally as a stock. I don't think Shopify is a necessarily good, like, long-term safe bet. I think there's risks investing in it long-term because I think Amazon is eating market share away from them over long-term. And but again, I might be wrong with this aspect of it, certainly. I'm not saying this is a certainty. I don't know. But I think Amazon is eating a chunk of their business, and I think that's risky for them. Uber still hasn't come out. Oh, wait. Oh, Lyft had earnings, I guess, this morning as well. How many years till cannabis becomes profitable commercially? I started this because of you. Thanks so much. I'm doing very good. I'm up 7,400 on the real accounts. Hey, congrats, man. The payouts. Okay, I got you, bro. Hold on. Let me find them, man. Let me see. I got you. Hold on. I know you. The way I found it is I go to Apex Trader withdrawals, And then you just kind of scroll around until you find their site. Man, I wish my voice stayed this deep all day. Listen to me. I'm like Batman right now, dude. Hello. You know? I wish it stayed like this. Chocolate rain. You know? Like, I really wish my voice stayed this deep. It's really not this deep. I wish it was. I just woke up in the morning. But man, I really wish it was like this. I don't think I have a high-pitched voice necessarily, but I don't think it's necessarily low either. I don't know why it sounds like this. Maybe if I drink coffee, it'll stop. Is that better? No? Hey, still kind of deep. I'll take it. All right, so I gotta find that link I went to. I don't know where I went. Hold on, I'm looking for it. Give me a second. Oh, I know how I found it. I went to their Discord. And then in their Discord, there's a section on payouts. I noticed Apex payouts. And at the bottom, it says, hey, if you go to apextraderfunding.com/payouts, it'll give you this list of all the payouts that they are specifically processing. You see Texas, Cali, Ontario, Canada, Peru, you know, there's a bunch of places they're processing payouts. So yeah. It's not John. What's not John? My voice isn't high-pitched. I know my voice isn't, like, really deep. You think it's deep, and then you listen to it elsewhere, and you're like, man, my voice is high-pitched. Zevia running. Yeah, we got a couple earnings dropping today that we're just kind of sitting on waiting on. We got Uber. I'll put Uber on the left side. We got Uber. We got Shopify. Those are the two big boys that dropped this morning. Shopify went all the way up to 79.20s, back down to 78.50. Still nothing yet in their terms of their earnings, though. LARPing? Dude, LARPing kind of looks fun. I feel like I would get bored LARPing though. Like, I think the battles could be fun because I'm kind of competitive. I would start guillotining people, to be honest. You know. But no. The battles look fun. Sitting there pretending to be in a medieval world seems kind of boring, to be honest. Maybe I'm just dopamine, you know, conditioned. But yeah. Tesla tanking. Yeah, Tesla's definitely down today. I'm in at the 149 level, though. I'll probably take a little bit more off of Tesla as well. If we dip more, I'll buy it back. But I think it's a good entry I have. Oh, I can't get out any right now. I gotta wait. All right, that's fine. Hit each other with pool noodles. Right. You ever play Clash Royale? No. What's that? I don't even know what that is. My games, in terms of, I love games. I'm a competitive person. You know, you learn who's competitive and who's not at jiu-jitsu. You really do, right? Like, I would roll against people at jiu-jitsu as a brand new person. Never trained a day in my life, right? In jiu-jitsu or MMA or anything like that. You go in there, and I would roll against, like, these purple belts. And, like, I remember I rolled against this, like, 20-year-old kid. And this kid must have been, like, 110 pounds. And, like, I can kind of see why he wanted to learn jiu-jitsu, because he needed to learn something. He needed to, because this kid just had no sense of like he just didn't do anything, right? And I know some people might be sitting there thinking, oh, well, maybe he was letting you work and doing stuff. Maybe that's true. Unlikely, though. I talked to the coach afterwards, and the coach was even like, yeah, I don't know what that kid's doing. You know? And he wasn't a kid. He was like an adult. But some people are just more competitive than others, you learn. And I'm one of those hyper-competitive people in everything that I do, unfortunately. My wife hates it. She hates it. But that competitive spirit is also kind of what drives people to do things, you know. Like, I never let my kids win at Mario Kart, for sure. I let my daughter win at soccer until she was about 4. And then she ain't winning. No more free passes after that. You know, my daughter even jokes around. She's like, yeah, I was so good at soccer when I was 4. And I looked at her the other day. This was a conversation we had not too long ago. I looked at her, and I just kind of rolled my eyes a little bit. And I was like, yeah, you were great at soccer at 4 years old. Do you really think you were beating a 30-year-old in soccer at 4 years old? And she was like, oh, yeah. Top 3 soccer players in the world right now. Okay. Yeah, for a while my daughter was legit growing up thinking she was winning. She appreciated it. She never ended up doing anything at soccer. But it might be Kimberly. It might be ADHD related. Like I was trying to tell my wife, like, I have a son, you know, and my son is very, very much like I was as a kid. And it can be good or bad. Like my son he scores high on his testing and everything like that. But in terms of boredom, like I thought about it yesterday. I was like, the easiest way I can describe it is that Uber is out. Hold on. Let me cover these results. Uber posted 32-cent loss per share, expected 23-cent profit per share, revenue of 10.131 billion. They expected 10.11 billion. They posted gross bookings, which were down as well. So Uber had a big miss here. They missed EPS. They lost money when they thought they would, or no, I think they thought they would lose money. Let me make sure. So yeah, Uber ended up losing money, and they thought they would make money. So they thought they would make 21 cents a share. They ended up losing 32 cents a share. They posted revenue of 10.13. They expected 10.11, so slightly better revenue. But gross bookings were a big miss for Uber. They're down a lot on this, so a big miss for Uber. The only thing they did better than expected was revenue, and it was only slight. Only slight. Are you at Disney after this dip? No, I'm not buying it. It's too high for me. Again, I only really buy Disney up. I've until Disney forms a better long-term range. I only really buy Disney if it's under $100. I sold Disney months ago at like 110, and I'm not really gonna buy it back unless it dips more. Not for now. I might buy it back sometime in the future, but not for now. So Uber reacting really negatively. Is it time to buy the dip in Uber? I have to look at what the PE ratio is for this. But yeah, no. So going back to my son, like my son, he really smart kid. Really like good-natured, I would say. Like I would argue he's really good-natured. But I think the problem with him and with how I was as a kid is that I would just get bored so easily that I was just relentlessly stubborn. Once I got locked onto something, like if I wanted a video game or if I wanted something, I was just very stubborn. And I would end up like digging myself a deeper hole kind of thing to try to get out of it. But I was just incredibly stubborn and also hyper competitive. I hated to lose, as well as I was Sorry, I'm looking at this. I'm thinking about a dip buy. I don't know if I should buy the dip or not. I'm kind of waiting for this. But yeah, I was just incredibly stubborn as a child. And my son is very similar. My daughter, piece of cake, easy kid to raise. Like, really good kid, really good natured, kind, smart, you know, does well at school. You don't really have to worry about her getting in trouble. Just a good kid, you know. I'm not saying my son's not a good kid. Noticeably more difficult, though, you know. I was thinking the same thing. If it drops enough, I'd be interested in picking up a few Uber shares. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I don't know what the PE ratio is going to be, though. We also have Shopify reporting. Shopify is the next biggest one that drops earnings. I think Shopify earnings might be out because Shopify just dumped down here, too. Yeah, I don't see Shopify's numbers yet, but Uber is out. Again, Uber Tech, GAAP EPS 32 cent, missed 24 cent estimate. Sales of 10.1 bill, missed the 10.11 billion. So yeah, again, their sales actually came in lower than expected. This was actually wrong, it looks like. Let me fix this. Yeah, so Uber missed. I could buy this dip. Let me look at what the PE ratio is for Uber now, including these numbers here. So give me a second. I'm going to look at what the PE ratio is. If it's good enough, I'll buy the dip. If it's not good enough, I'll probably wait. Because I think the problem with Uber and the risks are that, okay, hey, I'm going to say this once, I'll say it again. I like Uber as a company, short term. But I'm not telling you to buy it. I have no idea what it's going to do, right? Genuinely no freaking idea what you should do with Uber. Okay? So, Uber it's going to be hard to calculate their PE ratio, to be honest, right now. Because they actually just showed a negative earnings. Negative EPS. So I can't even calculate the PE ratio. Shopify just dumped all the way down to 72. It looks like their numbers are out. Yeah, Shopify posted 20 cent profit per share versus 17 cents expected. Revenue of 1.86. They expected 1.85. And Shopify is down a lot. So again, I'm going to put these numbers up. The problem with Uber. Again, I'm going to give you an argument for Uber against it long term. And I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm saying this is one of the risks for Uber long term. Risks are very obvious. Look at Shopify dump here. Guys, wow. Shopify down to 69s. But yeah, the problem with Uber is this. Okay, so I think something that's incredibly clear long term is that robo-taxis are going to be a thing, right? Regardless of whether Tesla successfully accomplishes it or not, robo-taxis are going to be a thing. I sold a little bit of Tesla, by the way, too, speaking of Tesla. I'm still holding my base position on it, but we made so much money on this rebound. We're in at 140s. So, yeah. But anyways, the problem with Uber and companies like this, number one, I'm going to talk about good things first. I think they completely changed travel. And I think there's a lot of people who are going to... I think there are always going to be businesses for companies like Uber. I think there's always going to be business because people... At places like San Francisco, a lot of people don't have a car at all, and they just kind of Uber everywhere they go. They don't drive around. It's too hectic and stressful to drive around, so they just kind of take Ubers everywhere. And that has fundamentally changed how people travel, whether people rent cars on vacation. A lot of people go on vacation. They don't rent a car. They just Uber everywhere, and it works, right? It works. So because of that, Uber's always going to have some business, all right? That's the first part of what I'm talking about specifically with Uber. The second part is that I think the future is very clear that robo-taxis are going to be a thing, right? I think self-driving autonomous vehicles are already a thing, and over time, they're going to become more and more relevant in automobiles, right? And so I think that's bad for Uber because as robo-taxis become a thing, specifically full self-driving cars become a thing, you're going to have lesser and lesser of a need for Uber, right? And Lyft and all these other companies. I still think there's a lot of time, though. I think we still have a lot of time before broad adoption of that technology becomes a thing. And so I think in the period leading up to all this stuff, I think Uber's going to be fine. I just think if you're planning on holding Uber for 20 years, I think that's one of the obvious risks. But again, short term, Uber has fundamentally changed driving and automobiles. The problem is profits. It's hard for them to monetize. It hasn't been easy for Uber to monetize. Again, prior to this quarter, they had 3 profitable quarters, which is a good sign. But now they're posting a loss per share when they expected profit, just a big miss. And, they're down a lot. Usually I end up buying up earnings that are overreactions, like more like Shopify is what I would kind of buy. I don't know if I necessarily trust Shopify either. I'm not a big drop shipping person, and I think Shopify relies heavily on drop shippers. People that don't drop ship, they usually just go to like Amazon if they're going to buy something, not Shopify stores. And so I think, basically, I think Shopify's propped up on drop shippers, and I think eventually that's going to fade personally. But I might be wrong. I might buy a small little dip. Let's try it. We're going to take a little piece of Shopify. It's just down enough to where we could probably justify buying, what, 5 to 10 shares? All right, we're at 65.20s for Shopify. 5 shares. We'll see what else we get. I could probably buy a little bit more, too. I'm not telling you to buy it. Do not copy me. Not an investment professional. Affirm moving. Boeing hasn't moved at all. I'm green in Boeing. Should I buy a little bit more? I'm going to buy like another 3 or 4 shares. All right, we're in with almost 10 shares now. Again, 65 roughly is my position. Clove posted their first profitable quarter. AI healthcare coverage company, and it just might, yeah, maybe. I'm not really a big believer in penny stocks, though. You know, I'm sure there's some penny stocks that are going to work. But I think identifying which ones work and taking advantage of them is much harder than it looks, and just too much risk for me personally. But good luck. All right, so we got a small little position here, Shopify, very small. Buy the dip after a big pullback. Again, we can sit on this. If we lose, it's not the end of the world. We're very green on this account, by the way. So again, if we lose, it's not the end of the world. Started buying up Reddit a few weeks ago. Affirm is out, so AFRM. We did have mortgage rates go down a little bit, so mortgage rates did dip a little bit. I'm looking for Affirm. All right, so Uber, like, to say some positive thing, Uber guided second quarter adjusted EBITDA better than expected. They expected 1.47 billion. They guided to 1.53 billion. So Uber guided okay here. Maybe we'll buy a little dip in them too. Small little dip. Again, I don't trust it at all. So we're just gonna take a little piece. They guided well, you know, so maybe we got some room back up on the upside. Affirm. I'm looking for the Affirm results. I don't see them anywhere. Give me a second, chat. Okay, Affirm posted GAAP loss of 43 cents. They expected 67 cents. Sales of 576. Beat the analyst expectations. We'll put those numbers up in the comments section here. There's Affirm's numbers right there as well. So yeah, we're in this. Again, I might add a little bit more to Shopify too on a dip. Although, again, I'm not really a big believer in Shopify long term. I don't think business models. I think it's vulnerable long term. All right, we added to a little bit of Shopify on this little dip. We're down like 10 something, 15 something. We got a 64 average, so we're okay. Affirm's still running. Up to 37s. I don't know enough about Affirm to buy the dip, though, to be honest. Yeah, I'm still in Boeing as well. So we're getting a little bounce back in Shopify. Uber's still moving up a little bit for me. I'm green on Uber. That's nice. We'll take it. And I'll probably just sit on Shopify. It's dipped enough. You know, Shopify's down roughly 25%, right? It's down roughly a quarter. From 80 down to 60. That's 25% dip. It's not bad for a pullback dip buy, I think. But again, I might be wrong. Don't copy me. Not an investment professional. Don't copy me. Yep. Might add another 5 shares to it if it keeps dipping as well, and then just kind of sit on that. Not where I'm taking any huge risks, but just kind of playing with it, see if we can catch a little bounce play. We've been riding a lot of those this earnings season, so oh, all right. Sheesh, dude. It's definitely a what's the injury called? It's my rotator cuff injury is certainly what this is. I was thinking about going to jiu-jitsu today. My wife's probably gonna get mad at me if I try. Summarize what happened to Shopify. Shopify posted better than expected results and dropped 25%. That's basically what happened. Yeah, looking deeper, Shopify sees revenue growth at high teens percentage year over year. Gross margin for the second quarter is going to decrease by approximately 50 basis points compared to quarter one. That's probably why they're down. But yeah. Why is Shopify falling at beat? Because number one, when you look at Shopify long term, on the year it's very green. It's up from like 55, 60 on the year, so it's very green on the year. Number two is it had worse than expected gross margin for the second quarter guidance. You know, I think the biggest thing people need to learn is that earnings are not binary. Meaning, in this context, what I mean by that is like earnings are not going to always move with the results. Just because a company posts good results, good revenue, good sales, does not mean the company's going to go up. And in fact, it depends on what the extension is leading into the earnings report. If the stock has gone up 20% in the month preceding the earnings, there's a good chance, even if it shows good results, that the company's going to drop when earnings come out, and vice versa. So if a company has dropped 20% or more preceding their earnings report, leading into their earnings, there's a good chance that it's going to bounce regardless of what it shows. And again, that's the biggest thing people don't realize. They're like, hey, it reported good earnings, why is it down? Because companies don't always follow that. There's a lot of nuance to it. People are making positions before the earnings report comes out and then selling. There's a very the famous saying is buy the rumor, sell the news. Right, that is why stocks don't always move with their earnings. It's because it's kind of a rumor. Uber free cash flow increased to 1.4 billion. Yeah. Again, we did have a bounce back at Shopify as well. I'm still at Meta. Meta's been flying up. Another one that's been doing me really nicely. Again, not only Meta, but also, what was the other one I bought? Let me see. Apple, I'm very green in it. I'm in at 160s for Apple. AMD, I'm in at 140s. Alibaba's been moving up pretty nicely for me, even though it's down today. Boeing, we're green on Boeing again. We bought CVS and we're green on that one. Delta Airlines been treating me right. We're at 39s. It's at 52s. GameStop, we're green on it. That's a nice surprise. Gold, probably one of my best positions here. Google still very green on that position. What What else we got? Tesla, still very green there. Walmart, still very green there. I don't know if anything's a buy. I bought a little bit of Uber, but I'm not telling you to do anything. I don't know what you should do there. You know. Yeah, I'm in Uber. I don't know what it's going to do. I'm looking for it to maybe move up. It's almost up to $66 a share. I'm basically flat in Shopify also. But Shopify's about to hit the VWAP level, the volume weighted average price level. That's the only thing making me nervous about it, but we'll see. Why shop drop? Let me look at Shopify. I don't know why they're down. I bought the dip. We'll see what happens. Dang, bro. Man, so Paul Graham's had a really good quote, man. I love this quote. I think this quote is very smart, very smart. So Paul Graham made this quote, and again, it makes sense, right? If you want to think of business ideas, right? Paul Graham is a computer scientist and an essayist, really, but he helped build the programming language Lisp. He co-founded Y Combinator. He does like Hacker News, right? But he did this quote, and the quote goes, to do hard work, live in the future, then build what's missing. And I think that's a genius quote. Very smart, very smart. Shopify, almost up to flat, so we're completely flat on Shopify now. You love to see it. Uber still bouncing back a little bit. We're green on Uber now. Affirm pulling back a little bit now as well here. Great work equals good natural ability, practice, and effort. The most influential people never cut corners, he says. He says, if you want to do great things, you will definitely have to work hard. I never took a day off in my 20s, not one. Bill Gates. I think you have to work smart as well, right? Like, I really think you have to work smart. I think there's a real saying, you know, I think lately you see a lot of people that do, like, manual labor, and they're trying to, like, shame other people on social media that don't do manual labor, like some, for whatever reason, the people that don't do it are, like, lazy or something, you know. But I think that it's really important to understand, like, work smarter, like, not harder. You know, I want to have a good quality of life, and that doesn't make me wimpy. So if I could figure out a way to make more money without working like that, that's what I'm going to do. And again, you got to work smart. You got to be smart about it, not be so prideful about it, and just kind of learn to make money when you sleep is the key, you know. I don't think it's hard to do. I think it's really hard to do. I think especially modern business. I think modern business is difficult. Brick and mortar retail is going away is the biggest thing. Like, sure, there's some that succeed, but back in the day, right? Like, back in the day, you used to be able to open up a shop somewhere, and as long as you had a good location, you had a pretty good chance of succeeding, because people needed things. They couldn't buy it on Amazon. They couldn't buy it online. They had to go to brick and mortar retail stores to buy it. But now, in the modern age of technology, it's just wildly different than that. Most products can be bought on Amazon, you know, going completely around any brick and mortar store. Most brick and mortar stores fail, and it's a risky time to start any business. And also there's saturation in everything. You know, the world is growing at a faster and faster pace than it has been. And so it's kind of like this, it's hard to find good business ideas. There's so much nonsense out there in the world. Like if you research business ideas, like the business ideas everybody tells you, drop shipping. Do not drop ship. Drop shipping is so saturated right now. Of course, people are going to tell you to drop ship because you're making money doing nothing, right? You don't have a product. You don't really have a service. You're literally just selling somebody's else. You're just marketing somebody else's product to people and using pay-per-click advertising. It's just, it's going to be very difficult to make any significant amount of money doing that. Although you can do it, but again, super saturated. The other thing you look at is Amazon FBA, which I'm not going to say is a scam. You can do Amazon FBA, but the margins are not good. Most people doing Amazon FBA are spending like $10,000, $15,000 a month to make like one or two. And so if your trends change, if your businesses change, you've got months of losing money in inventory to sit on and get rid of. It's just a risky business endeavor there. Most people make money selling courses on how to do those things than they do from actually doing those things. And so it's just one of these markets where it's hard for young people to understand businesses that are good ideas to start. And again, I'm not even trying to act like I'm some super successful business person or anything like that. But I do think that if you're going to start a business right now, like monetize what you're interested in. Figure out what you like doing and what you're good at doing and then monetize that. It may sound very obvious, but it's the truth. What you're going to succeed in business is going to be something that you know and understand. If I try to start a, business on whatever where I don't understand it, that's going to be a risky thing. And I don't know if, I think you got to just be smart with it, especially nowadays. It's very difficult. And most businesses fail too. Like they say, the famous saying is 6 businesses fail before 1 succeeds. And again, I found that to be very, very true. Very, very true. Yeah, the Astros suck this year, The only game I might go to, I'm going to go to a Dodgers game so I can watch Shohei Ohtani and potentially Yamamoto. I want to see Yamamoto pitch. I want to see Shohei Ohtani pitch. I want to see my daughter's favorite player is Freddie Freeman. And so because of all that stuff, I want to go to a Dodgers game this year. That Dodgers-Astro game. Of course, I'll still be rooting for the Astros, but I also want to see Shohei Ohtani hit a home run, live. So that's the game I want to go to this year. Again, the Astros are not going to. I think the Angels are ahead of the Astros. That lets you know how bad it really is. Yeah, Uber tanked. So did Shopify. We bought the small positions there. HUD 8. Yeah, Bitcoin miner. Respectfully disagree in what way? It's all good. You could disagree. But what do you disagree with? It's all good. My $65 put is almost in the money. Hey, good luck, bro. SPY testing lows at 516.50s. Talking about their stance. I watched a YouTube short on pitchers with the weirdest looking pitches. Some of them get twisted. Talking about their stance and wind up not what they throw. Are you talking about the Tommy John video that talked about why some of the pitchers get Tommy John surgery now? And it mostly has to do with them having a crooked front foot stance. So when they're throwing the ball, their front foot stance is a little bit more crooked. And what that ends up doing to pitchers is that when they're finalizing their pitch, right, they have to whip their forearm a lot more. They have to whip it a lot more, right? Which can add speed to it. It can also add a little bit of unconventional movement and fake batters out. But what happens is that when the forearm whips like that, it's a more vulnerable position for your elbow, and ultimately most of the pitchers that have that pitch like that will eventually need Tommy John surgery. If you don't know what Tommy John surgery is, it's an elbow surgery that started with Tommy John, which was an old baseball player, where they basically take out the ligaments of his elbow and they replace it with wire. Usually, if you can get Tommy John surgery, it's usually a pretty stable. Like you usually have a pretty stable elbow afterwards, and some pitchers actually throw faster once they get it. But it's a plague in baseball, for sure, with pitchers specifically. Again, that's why I want to go see Shohei Ohtani, because who knows how long these pitchers will be there. Chat question: do you think synthetic shorts is a problem? Not really. You know, like I get it. I get it. AMC traders need a bad guy, but I don't really think it's a major problem. All right, chat. Look at Uber. Hey, you love to see it. You love to see it again. We did buy Uber. We did buy Uber, and now Uber back up to 66.50s. We're also still at Shopify. We're net green on these positions now. Yeah, Uber's up. Let's see if Shopify can bounce back here too. Oof, man. Let me see what else we got. AMC traders need something other than stock to believe in. Do you think dark pool trading should be legal? I don't think any of these things cause any significant influence to companies like AMC. I think AMC is down mostly because the movie theater industry as a whole is losing market interest. It's so the problem people have is like they want to believe one thing, and confirmation bias is a powerful thing, right? I say this every day, but confirmation bias is a powerful thing, and it's very common in stocks trading and stock investing. The problem is this, okay? None of those things make any super significant influence to companies like AMC, right? The reason AMC is going down is not because of shadowy figures trying to hold it down. Like, that's such a ridiculous statement, right? Like, AMC is down because the movie theater industry has very obviously changed as a whole, right? What do I mean by that? Okay, so movies nowadays, since 2020, but really before that, technology has grown to a point where movie theaters want to take less risks. They take less risks. They're doing so now. Movie and media companies in general take less risks. You see it with TV series, right? Series in general, like Game of Thrones. You got to wait 2 years for a new season of Game of Thrones to come out. You got to wait 2 years for The Last of Us to come out. You got to wait 2 years for 1923, another season of that to come out. Why? Number one, technology has grown to a point where they're basically like mini movies now, so the production level is higher. That's the first truth of it. The second truth of it, though, is that movie studios in general take longer to greenlight next seasons. They want to make sure it's a sure thing before they greenlight the new season. And so because of that, we got to wait for the entire first season to end, the ratings to come out before they greenlight the next season. So that makes these huge waits in between seasons. In movies specifically, it's the same way. Movies do not want to take big risks by debuting movies in theaters, because then they got to do a press run, they got to spend more money. It's a lot more of a risk putting a movie in theaters. And if the movie fails, it reflects on the studio poorly. And so movie theaters in general simply take less risks putting movies in theaters now than they used to do it, especially with direct-to-streaming, the direct-to-streaming aspect of movies now. A lot of movies are going straight to streaming. They can make more money. It's less, it's better net profits, and it's better margins to go direct to streaming instead of doing a press run in theaters. And so what does that mean? Right? When you look at it objectively, and again, I don't think this is really arguable, but when you look at it objectively, what does it mean? It means less movies are going to theaters. That's very obvious. That's obviously worse for AMC. If less movies are going to theaters and less people are going to go to theaters because of that, what's going to happen to AMC? Stock's probably going to go down. That's why AMC is down. It's been down since the pandemic. And again, I hope it goes up. I'm in it right now. But, we'll see. But again, I don't think any of these things are really arguable, and I think people a lot of the time just get really emotional about it because they want AMC to go up and they want there to be some shadowy bad guy figure here, but there's not, and it's just AMC. It's just technology growth. It's just technology growth. When the carriage came out, or when the automobile came out, carriage businesses, went down. And again, I think that's just the natural consequence of technology growth. All right, so let's take a look at this. All right, so give me a second. I'll show you. Okay. Okay, if you want to know why, all right, I'm going to show you two different aspects of it. I'm using Benzinga here. All right, I'm going to show you two different aspects of it. AMC's last 4 quarters. Let's talk about it. Their last 4 quarters. Again, I hope AMC goes up. I truly do. But AMC's last 4 quarters look like this. In February, they released earnings. They lost 54 cents a share. In November of last year, they lost 9 cents a share. The year before that, they were completely flat. So they didn't make money, but they didn't lose money either. And so and then the quarter before that, they lost $1.30 per share. And so in the last 4 quarters for AMC, they have never made money EPS-wise. Margin-wise, AMC has not made money in the last year straight. In terms of EPS, which is margins, earnings per share. They have not made money one time. Okay, one time. Again, their last one, 54-cent loss. Time before that, 9-cent loss. Time before that, they were 0, so flat. Time before that, $1.40 per loss. People are asking, why are other movie theaters not down? If you look at Cinemark, okay, Cinemark, 3 out of the last 4 quarters for Cinemark were profitable. Last quarter, they showed 19-cent per share profit. The time before that, they showed a 15-cent per share loss. A loss, but a small loss. Time before that, they showed a 61-cent profit per share. Time before that, they showed an 80-cent profit per share. And so you're asking, why is Cinemark not down? Because Cinemark has shown better profits than AMC has, right? These are not arguable numbers. Like, again, these are not arguable numbers. If we look at the EPS graph for Cinemark versus AMC, again, here's the EPS graph for Cinemark. All right. Again, here's the last 4 quarters. All right. Green, 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 1 red. Okay. If you look at AMC's, same chart. So again, like, I get it. People want to paint it like there's a shadowy bad guy out here just trying to hurt. And again, I get it. Usually people acting like that are trying to get you emotionally wrapped up in it. AMC has lost money literally every quarter for 2 years straight. Here's AMC's last 8 quarters. They're all red. Okay. Also, I think it has to do with structure. I think Adam Aaron said the ape divvy was the greatest thing ever. Then he came out there saying getting rid of the ape divvy was the greatest things ever. He's done all these different decisions and moves, and it's just hurt confidence in the stock. It's simply hurt confidence in the stock. And again, I want the stock to go up, but I don't think pandering to you guys, telling you all that some massive short squeeze in the bad guy hedge funds are going to do anything good for you. Again, that's simply like sensationalizing what this is. All right. Again, imagine you're trying to talk somebody into holding a wildly depreciating stock, a stock that's obviously going down. How are you going to talk rookie traders into holding it? You're going to say, hey guys, if you hold this stock, you're fighting the bad guy. Like, this is a moral trade. You can be righteous if you hold this stock, guys. It's, help fight against the shadowy bad guys in the world. That's one way, right? Apple doesn't need to do that because people are going to hold Apple regardless. Apple doesn't make you feel all warm and fuzzy to be part of the Apple stock community. Again, any stock that does that's usually trying to talk you into holding a depreciating asset. The other way is by telling you, hey guys, you could get rich if you invest in this stock. It's going to go to 1,000x. Imagine how many conspiracy theories we've heard over the last 4 years on AMC. Have any of them happened? Right? Every day I see a new conspiracy theory on social media about why AMC is going to do the mother of all short squeezes and go to 1,000. Every single day there's a new one. Right? They're just telling you what you want to hear so they can grow a following online, and you shouldn't like to be manipulated. It hurts to hear, but you shouldn't like to be manipulated. So don't be. Snap out of it. All right? I'm in AMC. I hope it goes up, but the weakness in AMC is not because of some shadowy bad guy. It's just not. The weakness is AMC is simply because less movies are going to theaters. You know, you see it with the Roadhouse movie, Roadhouse with Conor McGregor and Jake Gyllenhaal. It was supposed to go to theaters. The studio didn't want it. They ended up putting it straight on Amazon because it's a risk putting movies like that in theaters now, and less movies are doing it, which means what? Less people are going to movies. Objectively true. Objectively true. Despite anything else. Yeah, I mean, I hope it goes up, right? I'm in AMC. I bought it a long time ago. It's down. At this point, I might as well sit on it. And again, we're going to cover their earnings today, and I hope they go up. I really do. But I'm not one of those people that are just going to tell you what you want to hear just so I can grow a following. You know, I get enough views doing other things. I don't need, to worry about that. I'd rather just be honest. And again, you should appreciate the honesty, not lash out like a child. Like that's the truth. You should appreciate the honesty. Again, this is the truth. I'm in AMC. If you want somebody that's going to be objective about it, this is the objective truth. Or I'm trying to be objective. You just, like, at a certain point, rookie traders fall for that sensationalism, and you got to snap out of it and understand how people are trying to manipulate you. Most of them are just trying to grow a following online, so they'll tell you one conspiracy theory and that now's the time for the squeeze, and then that doesn't happen, and so they'll pivot to something else, and they'll say, oh, well, that was manipulation, now's the time for the squeeze, and then that doesn't happen, and so then they pivot to something else. They're just trying to grow a following online, and to a certain extent, it's worked. Right, I see people on Twitter and social media that have these huge followings from just telling AMC traders what they want to hear. But again, at a certain point, you shouldn't like to be manipulated, And don't get mad at the messenger. I'm just trying to tell you the truth, this is the truth, Yeah, so I mean, again, you see the point. So why is Cinemark making money and AMC is not if the movie scene is down? Well, it's probably because Cinemark made better decisions for their company, versus AMC. I've been to AMC theaters lately, and I've been to Cinemark theaters. I'll tell you this, the Cinemark theaters have been way nicer than the AMC theaters have been. And this is just my own experience. And so that probably has something to do with it. Just better location choosing. There's a lot of reasons, yeah, like, again, despite any type of short squeeze, whatever, obviously they're doing something better. I appreciate it because that just makes people lose, and you've proved time and time again you don't give a crap. You just give it like it is. I try to. Again, I have my own biases like anybody else, right? But this is one of those areas where I think rookie traders for the most part, like I think confirmation bias is such a powerful thing, and so if you've invested large sums of money into this, if you've gotten wrapped up in it, right, and you've believed the hype, for lack of a better word, about it online, it might be a very hard thing to hear me come out here and be like, hey, you might have been manipulated, right? Like, that might be a hard truth for people to accept. They say the truth hurts. That's a hard thing to look at objectively and be like, yo, I got manipulated. I fell for it, basically. And so a lot of the time, like, again, you see this a lot with people that are wrapped up in pyramid schemes, right? Pyramid schemes. You ever tried to talk somebody out of one? They get mad at you for it. They get mad at you for simply trying to talk them out of it, right? It's the same thing here. Right? They're going to get mad at you for it if you tell them the truth, because that hurts too much. Like, they desperately want to believe it's true. They want to believe that they're not going to get ripped off and that their life-saving investment or their thousands of dollars in investing is justified, right? But I think time and time again, the numbers behind it show that it's a risk, And so, yeah, I think you got to just be smart, chat. You got to be smart. You shouldn't like to be manipulated. Again, you can either continue to live in la-la land and desperately believe it's true, or you can look at it objectively. AMC might be at a good price now, to be honest. Like, I think AMC is down enough to where, it's at a pre-split price of 31 cents, right? It might be down enough to justify buying it. I'm not telling you to buy it, but that's why I haven't sold it, is because it might be down enough to be okay, you know. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and it's not the end of the world. Yeah. I've tried to talk people out of pyramid schemes too. They get mad at you. They get mad at me for it. You know, I said, hey, again, the real problem, pyramid schemes destroy families, right? But I think it's the same type of audience. I think it's people who are desperate for something, right? Same thing with the AMC community. They're desperate for it to succeed. They're desperate. Maybe they're struggling. Maybe they really need it. Maybe they want to believe that they're going to be rich one day from it. Whatever whatever the lie that they're being sold is, so that they can continue to hold it. Whatever. Same thing with pyramid schemes, right? What do pyramid schemes tell you? Pyramid schemes tell you, hey, if you just promote this, you know, you could be rich, right? Look at all these sales that the top 1% do. You know, you could be like them, guys. Just keep on pushing our product, chat. Like that's what they do, right? That's how they behave. And again, they even give the people involved scripts in how to argue against friends and family that are looking out for them. You know, same thing with the AMC community, who are literally have like almost like scripts and how to tell people why it's still a good company. You know, like, listen, I'm in AMC. I want it to go up. If I thought any of these squeeze theories, for lack of a better word, conspiracies were true, I would tell you that, you know. But unfortunately, and I've been right about this, and I've been saying this for years and years and years, right? Unfortunately, most of that community is just getting taken advantage of. A lot of them are new. A lot of them maybe entered after GameStop had its crazy parabolic squeeze, which GameStop had the fundamentals for that squeeze. GameStop had a very small float, very low float, which means that it's like the small float in GameStop means it's very easy to get big volatility from it because the float's small. The amount of shares that are out there are small. And GameStop also had 120% short float, right? So it was primed to do a big squeeze like that. AMC has never had that structure. It's never had a small float. The float is hundreds of millions of shares or more, not even including the special purpose dividend that they did. And the short float has never been anywhere close to that high with AMC. And so a lot of people experience GameStop and they think that every stock is going to squeeze. And I think time has shown that GameStop was the biggest short squeeze in history. It's not going to happen like that. And so you just got to be smart, guys. SPY bouncing up a little bit. We'll see if it holds. Yeah, Shopify's down a lot. They had good EPS, good revenue. Bad guidance, though. I made money on GameStop, too. My channel actually grew a lot. I've told this story a lot before. But my channel's actually grown a lot from AMC and GameStop, right? We covered GameStop during the squeeze. And again, it's my bias on it. And again, I am biased on it for sure. But I covered GameStop in the middle of the squeeze. Right, I was in GameStop for a lot. I was in Dogecoin at the time. I was in Cardano. I was in AMC, and I rode the squeezes up to a certain extent. With GameStop, I was streaming. I had thousands of people here during the crazy squeeze where it ripped up to 550 or whatever it was. And again, the whole community turned on me because once GameStop hit $500, my sentiment changed. I told people, "Hey, I'm taking profit up here." And everybody got so emotional and so upset. And they said, "You're not a true supporter of the movement. Ha! This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm going to DM you when it's at 1,000 and laugh at you. Ha ha ha." You know, GameStop nowadays never went higher than 550. Me exiting right around there was the correct decision. And emotions caused a lot of people to refuse to exit those positions and lose tons of money. Right? Same thing. Be smart, guys. Like, you're always going to have people that try to pull you in different directions. Your job is to be resilient to that and look at and analyze it yourself. All right, chat. Almost 8 o'clock. Uber's up there though. I'm still in Shopify. Yeah, I mean, GameStop, the big thing I always told people, and I probably said this a lot. Like, I've probably repeated this same thing a lot, but I'm going to say it again because I think it's important for people to hear. Hedge funds are not stupid, guys. Hedge funds are not stupid. Like, listen, GameStop caused hedge funds to lose billions of dollars. Billions and billions of dollars. It was the largest short squeeze in history. Hedge funds got caught with their pants down. If you think that hedge funds are going to aggressively pile into another short in that same way, where they have 120% short float in the company, and if you think they're just going to sit in that company and wait for you to squeeze them out of it, you're wrong. They are some of the smartest, brightest people in the world. They get headhunted out of Ivy League colleges a lot of the time. These are not dumb people. They're not just going to give you these short squeezes. They're just not. Right? And again, the structure of the company has to be correct if you want a squeeze like that to happen, and AMC does not have that structure. It never did. Float is too large. Simply, float is too large. Short float's too small. But again, a lot of the guys that are in these movements don't really understand that. They don't really understand what it takes to cause a stock to squeeze like they're talking about. Right? They're just kind of regurgitating something somebody else said on social media, and they don't really understand. All right. Yeah, and I'm in AMC. Again, I hope it goes up, but I'm not going to just blindly yell, for everybody to just blindly buy this just because I want it to go up. That's not ethical, So a bunch of police cars have shown up in front of Drake's house, and a large crime scene area is now taped. Wow. I can't tell if this is real or not. Oh, maybe there's a shooting in his neighborhood. Toronto police cordoned off an area near a property owned by rapper Drake on Tuesday following a shooting. Truth is good to hear. We try. My son just heard a bit of John's rant. Hey, we try over here, bro. We try. Yeah, personally, look, I like Kendrick Lamar more. Okay, I like Kendrick more. I think his music is simply better. Okay, I'm going to preface what I'm about to say with that understanding. I think Kendrick Lamar's music is better than Drake's. Okay, but in terms of this rap, this diss war that they've been going on, Drake obviously won. Okay, like Kendrick fans are so like they're fanboying Kendrick so much that they're not looking at what happened objectively. Drake literally set a trap for Kendrick, pretended to have a daughter that he was trying to hide or whatever it is, and literally set a trap for Kendrick. Kendrick fell for it, made this whole diss track about this non-existent daughter that Drake had, And then Drake came out in the next song basically telling him, hey, you fell for it. We set a trap for you and you fell for it. When that happened, in my opinion, it was done, right? Like, again, Kendrick started uploading all these different songs trying to dilute the fact that he lost. And again, people are acting like Kendrick won. And in the end, if you make an entire song about something that was set as a trap for you, you've lost. And again, I think that's just how I look at it. Again, I like Kendrick's music more, to be honest. I really do. But looking at that objectively, I think Kendrick lost, unfortunately. And I like Kendrick more, But hey, back to stocks. Really? Huh. Yeah, maybe, bro. I'm not sure, dude. Where's my coffee? There it is. Yeah, again, Uber's bounced all the way back. It's at 66.20s here. 66.20s. SPY is still testing lows here, although the SPY was, the SPY dipped under 500 for 1 point over the last few weeks, and it kind of rebounded nicely. So the SPY is still green over the last 10 days. Pulling back a little bit now. If I'm looking at the SPY, I want to see it hold over 510. I think 510 is a pretty big milestone support level that we want to look at on the SPY. So 510. If we put up a 10-day chart, I want to see the SPY hold over this specific level here. There we go. So this level right here, I want to see it hold. Again, we'll see. Yeah, Tesla's down. All right, chat. What else we got? Short Tesla at 180. Yeah, I'm in Tesla right now. I took a little bit of profit on it this morning though. So again, I'm in Tesla right now at 140s. Prior to selling, it was 149. Now it says my average price on the last couple shares is 140.60. So pretty good average there for Tesla. Still very green on it, like $35 a share green. And so we'll see what happens with the rest. Yeah, I'm not telling you that, Chris, because I don't know, and I don't even know if X. Yeah, I don't know, Chris. You're gonna have to figure that out. Not a crypto professional, brother. I'm not liable if you lose. Also, chat, remember, I am terrible. Have no idea what I'm talking about. Might be wildly wrong about anything I say. Content is entertainment only, and my experiences, wins or losses may be conducted in real time off stream. I do trade off stream. You're not going to see all my trades. Do not copy me. I'm not an investment professional. Understand CFTC 4.41 and hypothetical or simulated performance has certain limitations. All that good stuff, chat. Understand. Yeah, there's Shopify. There's the SPY. Nvidia's still doing pretty good, though. Nvidia's still over 900s. Oh, no, it's not. So, actually, Nvidia dipped under 900 for a little bit today. Still right around it, though. Right around 899.50. I think that's a huge level for it as well. So, yeah, I think that's a huge level for it as well. Oh, man. There's some funny videos online. All right, so again, Nvidia back over 900s. I'm just wondering if this is going to drag the market up. I would buy the dip. We're really flat still, to be honest. But Sweden cut rates. Any idea why Ferrari is down after earnings? Yeah, I'm not sure. Down to 398s though, looks weak. I don't know enough about this company. Ferrari is very selective in terms of selling people cars. And so I'm not sure why they're down, to be honest. But they're still doing okay. But yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't know why they're down so much. All right, chat. Again, a firm all the way at 36.20s. All right, so Adam Aaron posted something yesterday. He said, "Were you impressed by AMC's innovative efforts? AMC blazes new trails again." Denny's is just Waffle House for people who don't know how to fight. Honestly, Waffle House is way better than Denny's. Let's just be honest here, okay? Waffle House is great food. Great food. Their waffles, best waffles ever. You know, way better than IHOP. IHOP is like, You know, Denny's is definitely, But Waffle House, you know, take the atmosphere away from it. Waffle House is the better place. All right, so FTX has amassed billions more than it needs to cover customers' losses in November of 22 collapse, setting them up to receive full recoveries, according to Bloomberg. Interesting. All right. A firm's starting to bounce back up. Look, there goes Uber starting to dip down a little bit here too. Denny's is not good, bro. Let's just be honest. Waffle House is a Southern thing. It's just better. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Adam Aaron's the right CEO, to be honest. I think he's made a lot of terrible decisions for the company, and I think he's just leading them in the wrong way, personally. No real reports today. I don't know enough about Ferrari. I know what Ferrari is in the company, but I don't know enough about them to really say. All right. Again, we're just kind of sitting tight, waiting for something to happen. Again, Meta's still pretty green on the last few days. Google, I'm in Google right now as well. I think I'll probably just sit in this one, though. I've been in it for a while. My average price is 156 on Google. All right, chat. Ferrari, you're being accused of using cheap parts but charging high-end prices. Really? Yeah, I mean, Waffle House isn't super expensive. Fox Corporation is out. Monster Beverages commences modified Dutch auction tender offer to purchase up to $3 billion of outstanding common stock. All right, so prosecutors in the U.S. are examining whether Tesla committed securities and wire fraud in a criminal probe of self-driving claims, according to Reuters. Ooh, listen to this news. Listen to this news. Again, examining whether Tesla committed securities fraud. Intel Q2 revenue expected to remain in original range of $13.5 billion. They expected $13 billion. Fiscal year 24 expects revenue and EPS to grow year over year versus 2023. I'm in Intel. Treat me good, Intel. Go up. It's still down. That's all right. How is Intel down on that news? Honestly, I'm not going to get shaken out of it, though. I'll sit on it. It's not a big enough position to really worry that much. I'm only down like 20 bucks, even with this drop on the day. But did they really? Yeah, I mean, do your thing with Disney. It doesn't matter to me. Again, I'm not in Disney anymore. You know, I think, you know, we had some troll here earlier. Again, my guess, if you want to know my honest guess, is that a lot of people argued with me about Disney whenever I bought it, whenever Disney was like 80 bucks a share, 90 bucks a share, right? I was very vocal about buying Disney at 80, 90 bucks a share. If anybody that watches my stream or has watched my stream long term knows I bought it there, right? And again, I got a lot of hate for it, but I think there's a lot of people that told me it was a bad decision, and like a lot of people made fun of me. They did all this stuff, and then it's just kind of, as it ripped all the way up to over 120s, and I eventually took profit, it's just kind of crickets. It's kind of silence. And so they're so desperate to be right at this point that any little dip on Disney, they're like, aha, see? And it's like, bro, I'm not even in it anymore. Y'all are late. Disney though went up from 180s, or it went up from 80s all the way to 120 though. I don't know if it's time to buy the dip or not. Usually I look for it at like 90 bucks. Because they were down so much. Speaking on why Tesla went up on bad earnings. Yeah, mortgage rate did drop down. Very small percentage, like 0.2% from, I think it went down from like 7.29 or 7.25 to like 7.17 this morning. Yeah, Tesla tanking. I took a little bit of profit on Tesla earlier this morning. I'll probably sit on it though. I don't know what else to do. Very small trade now. Very small trade. I'm in at 140s, so I'll probably just stay in it. Let the last little couple shares hang out. It's not anything major, but Tesla is dumping down on that probe news. Again, you can kind of see the news at the bottom of the screen. Here's Tesla. It's dumping on this story. Again, if this turns out to be true, Tesla could have a big fall. Rivian earnings. Yeah, I don't know. Rivian is a company I don't trust either. I see a lot of Rivians driving in my area, but I just don't know enough about it. I think a lot of these up-and-coming EV brands are going to have an uphill battle. And so they're just not companies. Like outside of Tesla, which, again, I've kind of bought it and sat on it and bought it and sat on it. Outside of that, I'm not really going to invest in any of these up-and-coming EV brands. They're too sensationalized as stocks. Like, they're kind of like the GameStop community where they just kind of tell people all these things like Mullen, like all these up and coming EV brands. Most of them are going to fail. I think Rivian's got a better chance than a lot of the other ones though to succeed, but I still don't like it enough to buy it. All right, look at Tesla all the way down to 171s. And Tesla's risen a lot over the last couple weeks. Like a 20-day chart, Tesla went all the way down to 130s. At late March, it was at 130s. Bounced all the way back to almost 200. Look at the percentage moves back. Now it dipped all the way back to 170. We'll see if it holds at 170 even. It's at 171s now for it. But it's having a big dip, a big pullback. The news on Tesla is right below me. Prosecutors are examining whether Tesla committed securities and wire fraud in a probe of self-driving claims, according to Reuters. So that's the news on Tesla. A lot of people are scared about that. I'm not gonna buy this dip. I think this dip's a little bit too risky. Because if these turn out to be true, that's a big, that's a big story. I don't want to sit in that too much. All right, Nvidia hitting 895s here. I don't think I did a poll today, did I? Let me make sure. Does Nvidia break and hold over $900 this week? Yes or no? Vote on that poll. Sell it may go away? Maybe, yeah. And Tesla's dropping pretty fast, short-term TV. Not in Tesla. Again, with this probe out there, I think there's some risks, personally, but... Sorry, I had to mute the music for just a second here. Alright. Alright, so Nvidia's still at 895s here, chat. Wow. Yeah, SPY dipping. Uber's still down. Make sure this is down. Again, I'm going to unmute the music in just a second here, chat. All right, chat. So again, we are dipping down on the SPY. Uber at 65.50s. We did buy Uber. I guess I'm just going to sit in it. We're down a little bit on the day, though. Intel dipping also. Still very green on the portfolio. Still doing okay at gold. And I wonder what gold's going to do for the rest of the day. We are going to get ready to start to day trade here soon. All right, so again, I have to unmute the music pretty soon here. All right, chat. I do see a reversal thing on Nvidia. Tesla started to bounce back up. Uber dipping down though under 65s. Rivian at 950s. Alright, I'm gonna have to unmute the music. Alright, 65.10s. Again, the SPY at 515s. Tesla back up to 171s though, so we are seeing some bounce back in Tesla. You know, I wonder if they're gonna clear it. Again, Fox did report earnings. We're at 171.70s. Is it time to buy the dip? Part of me wants to buy this dip. I don't know if I should though. Yeah, I don't know if I should. I'll have to wait and see. All right, chat. Tesla bounced back. Maybe I should have bought the dip. I'm in Tesla right now. I don't want to add more to it though. I really don't. Nvidia at 895 has got me thinking about adding to it. All right, chat. All right, so we're about to have to unmute the music here. All right, here we go. Yeah, I'm looking up some other news here today as well, but Tesla bounced back some. Here, let me put the music back up. All right, there we go. Let me put some of this old music back up too. Hold on, let me consult my dog for plays. Yeah, sorry, I'm hanging out doing something else in the background. We still got a long time until earnings, or until the market opens. Look at NVIDIA, though. NVIDIA at 895s. I don't know why the market's dropping. We do have ARM earnings today. We also have AMC earnings this evening. Yeah, well, Theranos was basically a scam as a company. Uber missed. Yeah, I ended up buying it after the earnings report. We're basically flat on that position. I also ended up buying Shopify, even though I don't really like Shopify long term. We're mostly flat in both of these positions. We're not down anything like super significant. Full self-driving will never work. Yeah, I don't know. I think eventually it will, but I think it'll take time. I think the infrastructure is hard to build, and it's hard to get approval for. You know, big oil runs the world, and so I think that is something that is very obvious. Like, big oil runs the world, and so it's going to be hard to get people to adopt FSD because most of the time FSD doesn't involve internal combustion engines, and so I think that's the hardest like speed bump looking into the future for FSD. Yeah. So checking out some other stuff here in the background. Those are solid. Let's check the SPY out. Again, the SPY has had some big bounce backs. Let me see some of the other stuff that I'm looking at here. Let's see what we got. You know, I still believe engulfing patterns are some of the best strategies you can use. Tesla bouncing back is at 172. Is it time to short this? I don't know. I'm not going to short it. I don't like shorting blue chip companies, but it's almost back up to 172. We're about to hit 830. I don't think we have any economic reports today, but let me be sure. Yeah, no economic reports. We got wholesale inventories this evening, but it's nothing, or this later this morning, but again, it's pretty small. We're going to start day trading here. Let's get ready. So again, we're going to start day trading. All right, so we have built this account up to where we are currently up, again, about $1,600 in profit or so. We made a little bit on this account yesterday. So we're going to be trading micros. Now we're down a lot. I'm going to start entering a long position here. Now I'm going to start with one contract long, and then maybe add to the position as it goes. We'll take two here. I think we're down enough to justify. Very rarely are we going to continue just dumping down like this, and I think I can establish a good position. Again, I might be wrong. Do not copy me. Not an investment professional. Again, understand this rule. Understand hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations. Not an investment professional. I do trade off stream. I can't guarantee anything. I'm not even claiming to be a good trader. Don't copy me. Also, guys, check out one of my sponsors. This is a company called Apex Funded Account Programs. They are a sponsor of mine. I'm biased because they pay me money. I'm going to add to this as well. We're in 3 contracts. So I'll add up to 4. But again, they're a sponsor of mine. I'm biased because they pay me money. And if they paid you money, you'd be biased as well. But I think it's incredibly powerful because most day traders lose. And so if you put up 5K trying to day trade yourself, again, I hate to break it to you, but you're probably going to lose. And so you could either risk thousands of dollars learning to day trade. If you want to day trade stocks, you got to have 25K to be able to do so freely. Or you could day trade futures. And this is basically me day trading the QQQ price action in what's called the NASDAQ 100 futures contract. It's actually what the QQQ tracks, is the NASDAQ 100, and I can day trade it in futures. And these funded account programs limit your risk. They give you a demo, and they test your skill with a demo account first. If you could pass the test with the demo account, they fund you the same amount. This one is a 50K funded account. It only cost me about 40 bucks. They gave me a 50K demo. I had to make 3K in profit without losing 2,500 first. And again, since I did that and I passed the test, they funded me 50K with a 90% split. So if I make 10K, I keep 9K of that. They keep 1,000 since they're funding me this money. Great way to learn how to day trade with limited risk. And it's the best of both worlds, where if you lose, you're only out 40 bucks. The base one is 25K. It's only 30 bucks roughly if you use my link. And again, if you pass it, you get 25K in funding with a 90% split. And Apex is one of the most legit in the world. They pay out hundreds of millions of dollars. They paid out over $100 million to their traders. They've funded thousands of traders here. We are starting to show profit in this trade. I think I'm just going to, again, continue to sit on it. We'll take a little bit more off, but we'll keep 4 contracts there. And again, if you use my coupon code, you'll get the max discount. BT, Beginner Trading BT is the coupon code. It'll get you the max discount. There's the link. Again, you can also see their payouts. I showed people this earlier. And check this page out. Like, look, this will show you all the payouts that they're processing. Look, you can kind of see it. $161,000 payout, $2,000, $500, $500, so forth and so on. So you can see all the payouts that they're processing. They do have a website based like they have a page for it. So it's pretty useful. You can check out the link right there. Again, they're a sponsor though, so I'm biased. But again, we're green on this trade. We're up about 20 bucks. I want to let it run. We've got a nice cushion that we can let it run on. Yeah, the first 25K in profit, you get to keep 100% of that as well, which, again, powerful thing. All right, so now we're back to slightly red on the day. Again, I could add back to this. I don't know. I was just never in the green enough to really want to add to it. Again, I'm going to try to add some more here. These are all really small pre-market trades, though, chat, so just bear with me. We got 5 contracts here, you know. I'll give it time. We're right at the lows. We've got a huge cushion on this account already. We got about $1,600 in profit over the last couple weeks. I'm trying to be patient with it though, but do I want to add to this is the question. We're about flat now, so I guess I'm just gonna wait. Yeah, Meta's falling down though, so Meta's actually dipping kind of quickly here. I don't like that at all, so we'll probably start to cut this. Yeah, Meta is one of the ones that starting to turn on us. I like the support buy, but again, we made a little bit of money yesterday. Today we're down a little bit. Yeah, we'll cut it. Yeah, we'll see with Shopify. Again, I'm in Shopify. I bought the dip. We're not down enough to really worry about it yet. And I think with these type of trades, you got to be patient. I'm not telling you to buy it. I might be wildly wrong. Maybe Shopify just crashes down. But for me, I'm just going to sit in it most likely. It's not a big enough trade to where it's going to cause any type of problems if I'm wrong. And if I'm right, I think I got a big reward potential. And so small risk, big reward, in my opinion, if you buy it after these big dips. Even if they don't work, most of these trades work. Anybody that watches me stream knows that, like, I buy up a lot of these big overextended dips from earnings. And while I'm wrong occasionally, it does certainly happen, I'm right most of the time. You know, Meta is a great example. I'm in Meta right now. Average price is 412s. It's at 416s. Or it's at 460s, I mean, on Meta. And again, maybe I should take a little bit more off now before it dips too much. I probably will. There we go. Just to lock it in, but still very green trade. Again, we're in at 412s. It's at 465s. All right, is it time to buy the dip? I think I might buy it more. We're going to try to enter again here. Trying to catch a falling knife, so to speak, but, you know, I like the risk reward. I think the market's down enough short term to justify potential here with small size. There we go. All right, we just took half off, locked it in. Take another half off, lock it in. We'll go ahead and get out the rest there. So we're down 35 bucks on the day. I want to cut it before we reject. Palantir? I mean, I'm in Palantir, but it's not reacting good to earnings. My average price is 19s, though. It's at 21s. So, and we took, like, we're still in it, but it's small. STBX is a horrible, horrible penny stock. So. All right, so it looks like we cut it. I'm going to buy this again. Buy and weakness, probably not the right move, but I don't hate these type of trades. But this one's certainly not working out for me. That's all right. All right, we're going to cut this. So we're down 130 on the day. Not how I wanted to start the day, but I mean, to be honest, this is how some days go. I don't want to give too much back in this account. And so I think I'm going to pivot to Quant Tower in one of those accounts here. Just because, again, like, part of these accounts is risk management. For those that may want to make fun of me for losing, which is kind of something that, you know, kind of a rookie trader thing to do. But anybody that really wants to make fun of me, here's my actual P&L in this account. So we're accurate at about 63% of our trades. Here's my profit graph. We've slumped a little bit this week, but it's been a choppy week. It's been kind of hard to make money, especially in markets. And so I see Tesla starting to break down, the SPY finally starting to dip. And so again, I think risk management wise, we need to just kind of sit and wait instead of pushing too heavy in that account. You know, we're still up 1,400 bucks or roughly in this account net. And so I don't want to give it back to the market too much. These are my actual stats in this account, including these losses. So we are up roughly 1,400 bucks in the account. Gross P&L is about 1,800. You can kind of see my wins and losses and all that stuff there. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think good traders know when to shut it down in their account on the day. Now, I got multiple accounts, so we'll still trade. But, yeah, I think good traders just know when to shut it down. All right. We'll wait for Quant Tower. Yeah, for sure. I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, again, you know how the internet is. Just because I'm on the internet, I gotta kind of like put that disclaimer out there, like, yo, you know, we're still very green on the account, but I do want to shut it down. I don't want to give too much back. If there's no big edge on the day, I don't want to trade my main profit account and just give it back to the market, getting emotional or pushing too hard. You know, and I think that's the right move. I think that's what you have to do. A lot of traders are profitable. They just have these big drawdowns. And so I'm just trying to avoid those big drawdowns. There we go. So here's the NASDAQ. We did get a little bit of a bounce back up too. The question is, do you want to play with the extension, which would be buying this dip? Kind of what I've been doing all morning and it hasn't really been working. Or do you want to ride the trend down even though we're pretty far down here? You know, I think the likelihood that we're going to bounce back eventually is here, but it could just be a red day also. So that's definitely possible. I don't know enough about Datadog, George, to really say. I would short into this, but the market's kind of faked me out enough to where... Again, I think this extension's too much for me right here. So if I pull up this extension, I think this is down a little bit too much. Like, you can kind of see it. Look at how much we've dropped. And so I don't really feel comfortable shorting, trying to ride it down more, if that makes sense. Like, when you start hitting these levels, I'm more likely to buy it, accumulate down here and look for a follow-through bounce and then try to take profit into that bounce. This is usually the strategy of the move, but yeah, we just gotta wait. All right, so let me find, there we go. See if we reject. Again, here's a resistance level. And so I think we've confirmed that resistance level a couple times too. It depends on how weak Tesla gets though. If Tesla starts to rebound back, we might have obvious bounce backs, but Soundhound, I'm in Soundhound I think still, but they're pretty small trades in all honesty. Like my trades on Soundhound are pretty, it's a very small position, but we're red on the position for sure, but it's very small. Like currently we're very green on my portfolio, and this portfolio is Apple, AMC, AMD, Boeing, Alibaba, Chewy, CVS, Delta, Etsy, Ford, Gold, GameStop, Google, Home Depot, Honeywell, Intel, Coca-Cola, Meta, MGM, Netflix, Nike, Pfizer, Palantir, Shopify, Snapchat, Snowflake, SoFi, SoundHound, Tesla, Tyson Foods, Unity, Uber, Walgreens, and Walmart. But we're very green on these positions. We're red on some of them, of course, but overall we're mostly green here. Now, again, I don't know what these are going to do, but we're green. Or we have been green, at least, I guess is the easier way to put it. Alright, let's try this. Ooh. I think we have a winner here. This doesn't happen a lot, but when it happens, this seems to work very, very well. Ooh. Let me see. Let me go back. Let me try a 1 minute chart. So I'm building codes here. And dude, honestly, let me show you this code. I'm not going to tell you what the code entails. And it doesn't happen. The only issue with it is that it does not happen very much. Whoa, what's up with this data? Wait, what did I? Let me leave this. All right, so we are holding that resistance level. Bro, are you telling me that I've got the premium version of TradingView and it won't let me go back anymore? Come on now, bro. That's messed up. I don't know if it's stock market only or what, but all right, let's test it on the SPY 5 minute chart. I'm trying to test this real quick. Man, it looks pretty good. Maybe it's just the stock market. Ooh, yeah, this looks pretty solid, man. It hasn't failed once. Maybe futures trading. I can go back longer than this. Let me try. Yeah, I'm going to show you the script in a second. Or not the script. I'm going to show you the results of this script. So, yeah, I'm going to show you the results of the script. And just tell me what you guys think. So far, we've been testing it on both 1 minute and 5 minute. I'm going to try to turn it into a Pine script code. Or not a Pine script code, a Think script code as well, though. The problem is I don't really see it in futures. There's one. So I'm noticing it doesn't happen a lot in futures. Why did the code cut off? Let's try a 30-minute chart. I mean, even on a 30-minute chart, this looks really, really nice. Dude, why is my data cutting off here, dude? Let's try the QQQ. So for whatever reason, it lets me look back at the queue as much as I want. But with the SPY, Wait, $500 a month, bro. What? Dude, TradingView is... Bro, there ain't no freaking way I'm about to pay $500 a month for TradingView just to go back farther. When did they do this, man? That's horrible. TradingView should be ashamed. Anyways. Let me add this to the chart. Alright, again, I'm trying to test this code so I can show it to you, and let me know what you guys think. But sometimes when I put it up, it doesn't really show that much. I'm trying to see the angles here. When I originally tested it, I thought it showed up like a bunch. Now I don't see anything. Weird. Make sure it's the right code. We exit out of this, get the Pine script out. I'm pretty sure it is the right code, but let me make sure. All right, there we go. All right, guys. Hey, we got like 45 minutes until the market opens. Let me add it back to the chart. Okay. Where'd it go? Like, dude, maybe it's just the SPY? I don't know, man. All right, so there's the NASDAQ testing that previous resistance level. Okay, there's the SPY. Okay, nice. So TradingView really is like trying to charge. All right, so the SPY, it works. So maybe it only works on stocks. Let me try it on Tesla. Here. Again, this is crazy. All right, still rejecting at that resistance level. Well, no, so I can only go back 20,000 bars, which is kind of a lot. Which isn't enough. Like, there's restrictions on how many bars I can go back, which is weird. It's off. Like, I'm building this code. And the code seems to be very powerful. It just doesn't work a lot. But it works, though. Let me try a 1 minute chart. Like, this code... this is the first... I've seen one that doesn't work. Let me try Apple. I'm looking for high volume stocks. Alright, so let me try to convert this code into TOS. Yeah, so it seems to work better in the stock market. Let me try it on TOS. Maybe it will work better on TOS. I definitely need to save this, though. Alright, so let me say, I'm going to convert it to TOS and show you guys the code. Not the code, but show you guys the... So we converted the code. It's currently converting it to think script, and we'll try to pull this up so we can show you. I'm gonna put two charts up for now. I'm gonna put the SPY and the Q. These are what I originally tested. Look at the Q just down a lot. So is the SPY. Now it's a 5 minute indicator. I haven't really tested it on a 1 minute, but a 1 minute might be even more useful. Let's try it. So here's a 5 minute chart first on the SPY and the Q. It should be done. I'm gonna put it up on the other screen. I'm also gonna have to change the name so it doesn't give any hints. Okay, and the code worked. Okay. See, though, it's weird. It's not in true overlay on ThinkScript is the problem. So it's showing up down here and it worked, but it's not showing up in Watch out with Reuters news on Tesla. They were the ones who reported that Tesla dropped the Model 2, which caused the 10% drop. Yeah, it started working again, so I don't need you guys to tell me anymore. Like, I appreciate it, though. But yeah, if you signed up through Apex, you don't have to tell me anymore. I wanted to test it yesterday, so it's all good. It's all good there. Alright, so the code started to work, but again, I need to fix this real quick. There we go. Alright, so there we go. So we got it to work again. Let's try it out. Get Quant Tower out the way. Get this out the way. Okay, so no errors again. Okay, so we got it on. Let's see if we can actually find them though. So it doesn't happen a lot. Okay, so yeah, here it is. Right, check this out, guys. So again, this is one that I recently built, code that I recently built on TOS. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but look at the bear signal showing up here, and then look at the huge follow through afterwards. I'll tell you this, it uses a combination of different things, and it doesn't happen a lot. But when it happens, look at this. See if we can find it. Look, here's another one. This one was actually wrong a little bit, but that's okay. But we did get a follow through, so look, signal, rip. Let's keep testing it. Let me signal this down a little bit so we can look at it clearly. Yeah, it doesn't happen a lot. See, this one was even a little wrong too, but you did get a little follow through. So signal, bounce. So you did get a follow through bounce afterwards as well. So again, let's keep looking. But so far, most of these are working. They're not giving a huge follow through, but still testing it. You got to understand, I'm kind of flattening the chart out. This one looks like it might have been wrong. Yeah, so this one didn't work. And that's all right. Again, we're testing it. I'm going to test it on a 1 minute chart as well. Okay, so yeah, here's one that did work. Look, signal, follow through. Keep testing it here. No, this one literally called the top. As long as it's not getting mixed up, but that's all right. We're going to keep looking. So that one was wrong. This one called the bottom. That one was solid. This one breakdown afterward, and that one's solid. This one worked. So look at the signal. Beautiful follow through afterwards. So most of these are working here with it. We're going to have to keep testing it though. Look at this one called the drop. Bear signal. Follow through. Bull signal. Bounce. So far so good. Bear signal. You did get a little bit of a follow through afterwards. The question is, was it enough to take advantage of? I would consider that kind of flat. You might be able to consider that one wrong. This one was definitely wrong. Literally called the bottom here. I'll have to, again, might have to edit this a little bit. It worked better on TradingView. This one you got a little follow through, so that's good. So this one worked. Bear signal, downtrend. There's another recent one too. Oh, where'd it go? Okay. Bull signal, bounce. So this one worked. Still going here. I know I just saw another one too. I'm trying not to miss it. Yeah, bear signal. Is that? I think we already went over this one. The problem is it's such a long-term time frame that it's hard to scroll. All right, bull signal. You got to follow through there. I have to check it. I remember I checked it on like Tesla as well. See, the good thing about TOS is that I can look back as long as I want. Look, there's the bull signal, follow through. So it looks to be more accurate than it's not. But I'll have to do some more extensive testing. I might be able to ask AI to do this, to back test it for me as well. But I just want to look back at the whole history here building this, so you guys kind of how you back test things, these type of things. All right, so the bear signal was wrong. That's another wrong one. Bull signal, nice little follow through, bounce afterwards. Bull signal, you got a little follow through afterwards here, all the way up here. So that's nice. Still looking though. I'll have to ask you guys your conclusion on it. What do you guys think? Bear signal. Nice little follow through. Look at that. So this is a 5-minute chart, right? This is a 5-minute chart. Let's try a 1-minute chart. Let me catch back up on chat, see what they're saying about this. Again, I'm building this in the background here. What do you guys think of this one? All right, so here's the Q on a 1-minute chart. I haven't really tested it on 1-minute charts, although 1 minutes would be more momentum based, and I think that makes a lot of sense that it might work for this. All right, so we got a little follow through there after it. Keep testing the 1-minute one. Again, the problem with it is that it doesn't show up very much. This one, you got some follow through. This one was just wrong, I think. This one worked, but the previous one was wrong. I haven't really tested it on 1 minute. I also want to look at like a 15-minute chart. Look, this one you got a nice little follow through, so I kind of call it flat right now. This one you got some follow through up there. Bull signal. Bounce, and then larger bounces if you keep tracking it. Although this would be more like scalp based, I think. Bear signal here. Follow through, nice little working there. This one was wrong. Bear signal, and then you got a deep bounce. So I don't know how I feel about this one on a 1-minute chart. Maybe it works better on a longer term chart. Bear signal. This one worked. Yeah, I don't know if a 1-minute chart's the one for this. Probably too many fake outs and stuff like that on a 1-minute chart. A 5-minute chart gets some of the noise out the way. All right, guys. Not too long until the opening bell here. We got about 25 minutes left. This one worked. All right, last little piece of a 1 minute. So I don't know if I like the 1-minute charting here. Let's try like Tesla. I don't know. I mean, Tesla, look, bear signal, nice little dip. Bull signal, nice little bounce. Look at Tesla. That one was wrong for sure. Look at that. Follow through. We got a nice little bounce on the bull signal here. Follow through. But then it dipped afterwards. But this is a 1 minute chart, so yeah, the auto adjust is much easier to track. That one was wrong. Follow through, those worked. I don't know if I like that one. These bear signals are working better than the bull ones. Yeah, look at that one. That one worked too. All right. I don't know if there's news for the sell-off. Tesla had some news where they're getting investigated for potential securities fraud. All right, so let's try a 15-minute chart with this one. So 15-minute chart wise, you got this alert here. You got a nice little bounce afterwards. Problem is it just doesn't show up very much at all. Needs a little bit more edge. I thought it worked a little bit better on TradingView. This one you got a nice little bounce afterwards, and then the next one. All right, we're gonna get ready to start day trading. I don't know if I'm gonna use this one for my trading just yet. Although the 15-minute chart does look like pretty solid. Look at the bear signal, bounce, dip. All right, so that's not too bad. Again, I liked it on TradingView more. Like the one I liked it the most was a 5-minute chart on Apple. Like, look, here's Apple. Put a 5-minute chart up. See, what's weird, okay, so Friday the 3rd of May. See, what's weird is that it doesn't show up on the same charts, and so it's really like on TradingView, one showed up right here, and yet nothing on this one. So it's actually different on TradingView versus TOS. So something's changed about it, to be honest. It's not the same thing. Although it does look good on Apple, but it's, yeah, definitely not the same indicators. Weird. I'll have to show you guys the results on TradingView one day. Because, yeah, this one was just not... Like, look, let me show you the difference here. Let me rename this. We probably add an alert, too. All right, so check out, here's TradingView. Apple, same indicator. So like, look, same indicator, look, nice follow through. Look at this one, literally called the bottom here. You got a nice little bounce. Can y'all see that? Yeah. Follow through bounce, so that one worked. Look, bearish one here, follow through. Look at this bearish one way up here, follow through. So something changed when I switched it over to ThinkScript. Look at the bullish one here, bounce. Bearish one here, it looks like you got a little bit of a follow through here if we zoom in. Bearish signal here, dip. So it looks better on TradingView, to be honest, than ThinkScript. ThinkScript, it must have messed with the code or something. It doesn't happen a lot, though. I'll have to, like, if I did trade it, I would have to set alerts and take size when I did it, because it just doesn't happen a lot. The same thing happened with, like, the Q as well in the SPY. Look at this one. Called the bottom, follow through. And then that's as much data as they'll give me. Like, here's the Q one. Like, yeah, look at the Q one. Bull signal here, bounce. Bull signal here, bounce. All right, chat. Bull signal here. You got a little bounce, follow through from it. All right, chat. We got the opening bell in about 20 minutes. Bull signal here, bounce. So, yeah, on TradingView, it's literally like none of them failed. But again, I'll have to further my testing on it. Bull signal here. This one maybe failed. That's the first one. It just doesn't happen a lot, though, is the problem. Look, bull signal here. Follow through. So I'll have to keep testing it. All right, we're going to get ready to trade. We haven't really done anything. So I know I've been testing indicators and stuff, but the NASDAQ has stayed completely stagnant since we last looked at it. All right, chat. We're going to get ready. It's the slowest week of the quarter, to be honest. This is the one week where we don't have anything going on. We got jobless claims tomorrow. We got AMC earnings this evening. But aside from that, you know, boring. Next week is a huge week with PPI, CPI, retail sales, jobless claims, Philly Fed Index, building permits, housing starts, earnings, a bunch of other stuff. I don't know. I don't think we have any other big earnings next week, though. Let me check. Actually, let me clarify. All right, so we got some earnings. Let me see. I don't see any big names, though. Oh, Alibaba, Home Depot, Ocugen, C Limited, C-Do, basically. Nothing, really. Hut 8 Mining, maybe next week. Cisco. Nothing big enough to stream, really, outside of, like, we're going to cover Alibaba earnings. Walmart, JD.com, Baidu, John Deere. But yeah, very slow week next week earnings-wise. We got some earnings, but none of them are really big. I don't know what to do here with the NASDAQ either. It's completely flat, guys. There's nothing really going on here. Yeah, I'm streaming AMC earnings. Well, no, so this indicator that I was looking at is a little bit different. Daphne. Market Oracle Pro is this one right here. So this is just one that I'm playing with, right? The Market Oracle Pro is Chart Primes. And Chart Prime is really nice, right? So if you don't want to, like, my indicators, like, we're still playing with them. But as a programmer, I'm, like, messing with them. But Chart Prime is a different animal. So Chart Prime is a full company that does this. Check them out. So here's Chart Prime. It's a TradingView service you can use in stocks, crypto, forex, futures. I can't fake what I'm showing you here, Chad. So again, they're a sponsor of mine. They pay me money. I'm biased. But I also can't fake this at all. Like, look how powerful this can be. Let's just tally up and backtest the strong signals. Just the strong ones, right? Strong signal here, beautiful follow through. 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 So that's 4 for 4. None of them failed over the last 24 hours in the queue. And again, I can't fake this. Nobody can. Like, I'm showing you what's on the chart. These do not repaint, so it's not like they're going away if it fails. These are the real backtest results. Even if you tally all of them, like, look at the buy signal here worked. Sell signal there worked. Sell signal there worked. And so again, test it yourself. They can be powerful. Like, look, all of these worked basically that I can see. I don't see any of these that didn't work. You can also see, you can see the symmetrical triangle when the break happens. We got a nice little follow through here. So again, can be powerful. You can use this in stocks, crypto, forex, futures, anything with a symbol on TradingView, screeners, oscillators, backtesters. It's like $40 a month. Great way to learn how to, you know, see these patterns, and if you're good enough at them, like, hey, if you get in one good trade, it can pay for itself. Again, it's like $40 a month. Check out the link right there. You get 40% off. Shameless plug, guys. Shameless plug. The Q is going so flat right now, though. I don't know what else to do besides backtest charts and patterns and stuff. So we're trying, but man. Yeah, so again, we're sitting back waiting. Market opens in 13 minutes. We'll be back for AMC earnings. And again, if you want to check out Apex funded account program, day trade with me, limit your risk. Instead of losing thousands of dollars in your own account, try a funded account program. Your risk is limited. If you lose, it's not the end of the world. But again, I got funded in a $50,000 funded account. You can get funded same day for the time being and get 80% off of Apex. Again, they give you a demo, test your skill. If you can pass the test, they fund you. If you don't pass the test, again, you probably lose more money putting the money up yourself. You can kind of see all the different challenges. They have 25K all the way up to 300K. They have static $250,000 accounts, and you can see the conditions for the challenge there. If you pass this test, you get 25K in funding. If you pass this test, you get 100K static with no trailing drawdown. If you pass this test, you get 300,000 in funding. And again, the futures market, very similar to day trading stocks. There's just no PDT rule. And again, a lot of the time I use these indicators with like Chart Prime on these as well. Just a great way to learn with limited risk. Check out the link here. This is the second plug I've done all day for Apex, if you're going to get mad about the plugs. We're just trying to kill some time here. There's nothing else to do. Is signing up for Apex a way to test if you suck at trading? Well, I mean, again, I'm always honest with people, right? I'm not even claiming to be a good trader or anything like that. Most day traders lose money, right? I don't care who you are, what your mentor is, what course you take. Most day traders lose. And so as a day trader, you got the option of putting the money up yourself, trying to look cool, you know, putting up $5,000, $10,000 yourself as a brand new trader. Maybe you got sold on a get rich quick mentality or whatever it is. Again, the reality is most day traders lose. And so you can either lose your own money or you could try a funded account program. If you lose, you know, you only lose what you pay for it, which is $30 for the base one. I think it just makes a lot more sense to learn how to day trade that way instead of just needing to use a real account, putting up, you know, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 in a real account and probably losing it. I don't think that makes any sense. And I think that happens pretty regularly. And I think funded account programs can help people avoid that. And so I think that's a useful, powerful thing that people should take advantage of. And again, if you're good enough at it where you pass these funded account programs and build up profits, you could take the profits and put it in your own account, you know, and have less restrictions that way too. It's just a lot better to do it that way instead of just risking all the money that you can, you know. Now this code looks like it's a little bit better. Let me try this in Pine script. What do I want to save this to? Alright, so here's actually a pretty good one. I mean, I'm trying to work on stuff I can build to think script as well. I was shedding a lot with 2K, then tried to restrict me. Who? Yeah, it's a cheaper way, 100%. Yeah, if you want to day trade stocks, you got to have at least 25 grand in a margin account to be able to do so without restriction. It's just, it's going to be so difficult to day trade, you know, like that you're probably going to lose money doing it. All right, so again, we got another code here for ThinkScript. Tell me what you guys think of this one. Again, we're building it up. We got some errors in the code. Okay, I see what it is. They have whatever. They keep trying to. There we go. That's better. Okay. It's definitely a more active code. Here, let me look at the Nasdaq here. So here's the Nasdaq. See, it's just different. It doesn't look bad. Like red, green, red, red. I'll have to keep testing it. It's just different on ThinkScript, on PineScript. Like it doesn't show up this much. Let's try the SPY. Might be a better like scalping indicator too. These look good. Look, green bounce, red dip, green bounce, green bounce. Let's try a 1 minute chart. Scalping wise, it doesn't look terrible. Green dip, red bounce. I'll have to keep playing with it. I'll keep this on my off screen so you guys can see it. Still under the support level, very flat. Cash account, you can only go long. You have to wait for funds to settle after every day. It's not, you know, you're still going to be highly restricted. Yeah, I'm waiting. Again, I'm trying to stick around and trade, but It's such a boring week, man. Tomorrow we at least got jobless claims. We got AMC earnings this evening, so we got some stuff going on. But it's such a slow week. We don't have any economic data, any big catalysts this week. The biggest thing we had was the Apple event. How did Apple react to it? I didn't even see it either. Apple's mostly neutral from this event as well. Yeah, I'm trying to be patient. Luckily, I haven't lost too much in stocks. It's just been such a slow time. I'm ready for tomorrow. At least we're gonna have some busier days. They're waiting for Nvidia earnings. Maybe, brother. Nvidia earnings are gonna be a big catalyst for sure, but like I don't know whether the market's waiting for it or not. Possibly. There's Intel. Intel's back up a little bit too, but it's still down a lot. Uber's kind of flat. Meta started to dip down though. Yeah, I see Shopify trending better too. All right, guys, we got 2 minutes left. 2 minutes until the market opens. My shoulder's feeling better today. Apple's actually running up a little bit. Look at Apple. Apple's almost up to 183s. Do they still have their thing going on? All right, so one of the ECB, which is the European Central Bank's members, does not see a reason to lower rates too much too quickly. They reiterated that the ECB is influenced by the Fed to a certain extent, according to Handelsblatt, whoever that is. He doesn't see a reason to lower rates too much, so they don't want to cut rates. Intel, look at Apple moving up. Apple must have some type of positive catalyst because Apple's bouncing right now. I'm not sure why, but it is bouncing up a little bit. All right, so we're still very flat. Apple back over the 200 EMA VWAP level, though. Yeah, I mean, they just did a spec bump on the iPads from my understanding of it. I don't think it was anything too big for the iPads. I like iPads, but I don't, it's not really exciting if it's just a memory upgrade or whatever their new product was. All right, there's the opening bell, chat. Let's see if we can get over this resistance level that we've been chopping at back and forth here. All right, so we did rebound a little bit at the opening bell. Shopify back up some too here. All right, so there's the NASDAQ back up a little bit as well. Green action coming through at the opening bell. I think we got to watch NVIDIA also here, to be honest. I think we need to watch NVIDIA. Meta's bouncing all the way back up too. I see some green action, but I also see the SPY about to hit the volume weighted average price 200 EMA. So we'll see if we can fight over these levels. I'm using Quant Tower. I also use Trade Evade. All right. Alright, so we did rejected the VWAP on the SPY. I'm gonna let things play out first before taking any crazy big risks. I see you, Sam. Yeah, I don't know how long I'm gonna stick around either. I just don't. Y'all hit that subscribe button, chat. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much. Again, it's one of the quiet parts of our stream, one of the quiet weeks of our stream, and so I'm gonna start to buy this little dip here. We got enough down wicks to where I can take a position here. We got 4 contracts, 6, or I don't know how many we got. All right, we took a third of that position off, riding it back up a little bit more. Now we're slightly down. I might start adding back to this too, though. I'll take 4 contracts here, see if we get a little pop back up. There we go. I like all the down wicks. That usually means some buying pressure coming through, but we're so close to the opening bell that anything could happen. We got a little bit of a cushion today. I like this down wick here. We got 6 contracts. I like the down wick, but it doesn't mean anything yet. It's still kind of close to the open. Alright, took half off. Or took a third off, I mean. Took another third off. Took a little bit more off. Alright, we got out the rest there. So we're up like 40, 50 bucks on the day to start the day. Only about 4 minutes into the open, so we're grinding it up a little bit here on this account. We did lose a little bit in our other account though, so, you know. We might buy this dip. It's also very flat again. So again, we're going to try to buy this dip. Same dip we bought before. But this one looks like it's moving a little bit faster now. We do have a cushion though, so we can play with the cushion, but this looks a little quick, so I'm going to be a little bit more risk averse. Unless we rebound like this. Very big bounce back, fast. Who knows if it's going to hold though, but man. Wow. Alright. We'll take it. Kind of scalping this some more. Alright, so we're up about almost $100 on the day now. No losses since the opening bell. So no, tomorrow isn't CPI. CPI is next week. Tomorrow's jobless claims. Alright, so we've been riding that bounce every time it pulls back to this. I don't know if I trust this that much, though, even if it pulls back. All right, look at this huge bounce back in markets. A lot of stuff's bouncing back too. Uber's bouncing back. Red and a lot of other stuff today, but it's not super red. I think we got to watch like Nvidia and microchips currently. Might add a little bit to Shopify here, fix my average a little bit more. Yeah, I'll go ahead and try. Alright, we're not going to add any more than this, but we'll take that add. All right, market's still ripping up, breaking highs here, man. Uber actually green on the day on my position in Uber. That's nice. See if it keeps bouncing back, but at least I'm green in something today. I'm using Quant Tower with Apex. Again, this is a rhythmic account on Apex. Apex funded account program. They give you a demo, test your skill with a demo account. If you can pass the test with a demo, they fund you the same amount with a real account. Base one's $25K. It's only $30. If you pass it, you get $25K in funding. If you fail, you only lose the $30 you pay for it. 90% split once you're funded. They pay out millions every year. They paid out over 100 million. They also have a really nice site on Apex, and in the futures market, again, you can day trade essentially the SPY price action, what's called the E-mini. This is basically the SPY or the Q price action right here. If I look at the Q on the right side, and then I look at what I'm trading in futures, it's the same price action. Like, look, you can see it's the same thing. And I can day trade it. Apex also has a really nice thing where you can look up payouts. Like, check this out. Like, you can actually check to see the payouts that they're processing. All that good stuff. So, like, check it out. Pretty cool, right? You can actually see where they're paying people out, when they're paying people out. So pretty nice. Again, if you want to check them out, you can use my coupon code. It'll always get you the max discount at all times. Here's the link. Yeah, next week's CPI report's going to be huge. You know, be very, very important, very relevant, very big report. So just be ready. I'm not sure what they're expecting for inflation next week. I'll have to go back and look. For inflation, let me make sure. So next week they are expecting 3.8% for core CPI, 3.5% for base CPI, 0.3% April increase. So not crazy. We're green in Uber. Shopify is actually starting to bounce back a little bit as well. But yeah, I'm probably going to get out of here, guys. I don't, you know, like, look. It's a slow week. Later on today, we got AMC earnings we're going to be covering later on today. So just be ready for that. We do have AMC earnings that we're going to be talking about later. Tomorrow we have jobless claims. Friday, I don't think we have anything going on Friday. Friday we got some Fed speeches and consumer sentiment data. So it'll be somewhat important. But again, guys, I'll see you guys a little bit later. It's just a slow week, slow day. I'm going to get out of here and just enjoy my day. Y'all be good. Love you all. Y'all be safe in the market, chat. Understand, again, as always, not an investment professional, not liable. If you lose, good luck. Y'all be good. And, yeah. Y'all be safe, guys. I'll see you guys later.